Welcome to Deez Dice's second Level Up Talk Show episode. This one, the group will be rolling hit points for level 5, then afterwards we'll be taking questions from viewers and doing a post-arc discussion on episodes 6 through 13, covering behind the scenes and story-related stuff, so keep in mind there will be spoilers in that segment. When we get to the Q&A portion, we'll be pulling comments from YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. We usually make a post right before we record one of these, but we also take from comment sections of already posted videos, so if you have a mechanics or story-related question, want to know how a character feels about a certain thing, something like that, don't be afraid to comment on that episode. We may answer your question in that Arch Level Up episode. But first, the characters have to, of course, level up.
I get the druid spell, Stunning Strike.
Oh, nice.
Starting with Pebble. Pebble, you roll a d10 and add your Constitution modifier, and then add that as your hit points. Also for Pebbles though, she also gets a extra attack. So she can make 2 attacks in 1 turn, yeah.
Yo.
And Pebble unlocks level 2 spells.
So I got an 11 because 9 plus my Constitution.
You get 11 added on to your... That's pretty good actually.
Can't wait to roll another 1.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 new spells.
Whoa.
Nice.
One of them is a homebrew creation.
Hell yes.
So next up, Shello. Shello, you
Hello.
roll a d8.
I got an 8. I got 9.
Oh,
9
nice.
more health.
Perfect there. Yeah, you guys are really making up for the last level up.
Yeah, no kidding.
What?
No, just you wait. We're not done with everyone yet.
Shello also gets his bardic inspirations he gives out becomes d8s instead of d6s.
That's pretty
Hell
cool.
yeah.
And then, Shello, are you fine with saying out loud what spells you're taking?
Yes.
So Shello, you're taking Enemies Abound as a 3rd level spell, and you're going to be swapping your Minor Illusion spell for Invisibility.
Yes.
Then Mherren rolls a d12 plus con mod.
Oh, wait.
What?
Oh, no, never mind. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. I see Font of Inspiration,
Yeah, that's the thing.
which is the thing to do with Bardic Inspiration, yeah. And then Song of Rest was something else from level 2, but I don't think I have.
I told you
Oh.
to not speak.
Yeah!
You already had the most HP, I think, so you know maybe this should be fine, right?
You rolled a 1
Yeah,
last
I
time,
mean-
too.
I did. Because I made fun of you for rolling 1. And Karma bit me in the ass.
But Mherren, you do also get extra attack per turn, and I believe your movement speed also goes up.
Because I 10. So I'm just gonna fuck everybody up.
Balthazar, you roll a d6 plus your con mod. You have the lowest here.
Oh.
So B7?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, the only one that's rolled badly so far is Mherren. So
Yeah,
also
it's
you
fine.
can add 7 to your HP. You said you were removing sleep.
Yeah.
That's a banger spell.
I just don't need it because you have it.
So Skrubbins is next up. He also does a d8. So Skrubbins, roll 1d8, then add your Constitution modifier.
Okay.
Nice, perfect. 8.
Plus 3. So that's 11.
Skrubbins is healthy.
That's all for you. Also with your level up, you get your sneak attack damage will do more, and you also get an ability called Uncanny Dodge, which as a reaction you can half damage
Ooh.
any incoming damage that you can see.
How many times can you do it?
It's as a reaction, so any reaction.
Oh wait, really? Damn, Shardy.
And so as long as he's not, as long as he doesn't take like an opportunity attack or does some other something that requires a reaction, he's able to half damage. And as long as he sees the person dealing the damage to him.
Hurrah!
Woo!
And lastly, Sana is also a D8.
+1, so 8.
So 8, nice. Yeah, everyone got good rolls except Mary. Sana will also be getting extra attack. And she also gets Stunning Strike.
Stunning.
So that's everything in regards to leveling up. We just leveled up. We definitely just leveled up a few minutes ago.
I just leveled up.
Yeah, and now we're on. Don't look at the chat next to my art that says 6 days, 19 hours ago was an investigation check. Yeah, don't worry about how we record our episodes, even though that is the first thing. How do you record?
Bandicam 3, next question.
I believe I talked about this a little bit in the last episode. Someone also asked, how do you stream? We don't stream.
We all individually stream.
Yeah, we don't stream D&D for Dragon Deez Dice, but we all stream like games and stuff
No.
occasionally. I don't know. Now we don't stream because I'm not confident in myself to do things live. I think our
I knew it would be a mess.
I think our videos are a lot better when things can just be cut out, like long silences, me looking up things.
Much better.
We
Yeah.
spend 45 minutes on a book per session. I don't
Yo.
think that needs to be seen by the general public.
Yeah, like literally, I think the last video I was editing, I cut out literally 30 minutes of people just debating how they were gonna pay for something.
That doesn't surprise me.
Most on average, I think I usually cut out around like 2 hours of footage from each episode, just like random shit. Because there's also like a lot of back and forth that is kind of like trimmed down. But no, there's a lot of like indecisiveness I usually like trim down, make it like move along faster for the edit. And I use a lot of filler words like and there's already a lot of that in the videos, but there's even more that I cut out, so there's honestly a lot of that. I never cut out anything actually important from videos though, so it's nothing crazy. I think literally the only thing I ever cut out that I wish I could have kept in the video was a joke of Pebble saying he had a carriage back home with flame decals on the side, and I think I had to remove it because someone was talking over me or something like that. But that's literally the only thing of really importance that I have had to cut out before. How do we record things? We use OBS. People are also wondering how we do like the light up PNG things. It's basically the same way PNG tubers use it. Just to give a quick basic tutorial on how we do the talking artwork for our videos, we have a closed mouth version of the artwork and then an open mouth version, and we use Discord Stream Kit to monitor when each of us is talking in Discord. Then as a browser overlay in our recording software OBS, I have it coded to like switch between the artworks. And you can easily find tutorials online on how to do this. It's the same way PNG tubers do it, so there's plenty of tutorials out there, but I'll link a tutorial in the YouTube description for those that are interested in the technical side of things. Aiden Kara asked a really good question. Now that everyone has reached level 5, if you could go back and change one thing about your characters, what would it be?
I'm assuming like class stuff and things you like picked up on level
Like
up.
mechanically, I wish I would have chosen an actual feat, because I didn't understand them at the time, and then I
also-
understood them later.
Yeah, I wish that too. I wish that also my character, her personality is like me, but quieter and more timid. And I wish I gave her more unique personality. I'm sort of developing that as we go.
Character
like-
development.
But like at the beginning, it was literally just me. So like I'm developing it as we go, and I wish I developed it from
Yeah,
the
I feel like a
start
lot of
more.
people do that with characters though.
Yeah,
Well,
this is-
especially since it's like
self-insert.
a newer
This
thing.
is technically my second character, but Dribble doesn't count that.
I feel like
Dribble is
both
also
were like
just also the
self-inserts. Yeah.
Dribble is literally just also and like
Dribble was you, but more confused on the mechanics.
yeah.
There are two things I would change though. But one thing I would change, I guess, can it be like a behind the scenes thing? Because I really wish I came up with the character myself instead of had Peanut come up with most of it.
And that's definitely
That's
a
fair.
choice,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
good.
something I wish I had done, because like now, like at the point I'm at right now, it's like I can probably come up with a character if you give me a couple days. At the point that I was at when I actually had to come up with a character, I was like, fucking, I don't
You
know.
can kill off Skrubbins.
Yeah, let's just kill
I
them
know,
all.
I'm kind of the same way though, because I made my character based on the idea that this was going to be a one shot, and then it turned
Yeah.
into a campaign, and then
shot.
yes,
You-
because that's what we were told.
Yes,
That's what we were
yeah,
told.
I
I
was like-
did say, because I wasn't confident in the podcast, but then there was, and I also wasn't sure if I wanted the story to continue, but I was like, I can make this work for a full
I
campaign.
genuinely
Yeah.
don't remember you saying it was going to be a one shot. I was planning for a full campaign this whole time.
Peanut
I
did
don't.
say it, so
I,
I was
No,
like,
I always
okay,
said
I'm
it
gonna
may
try
turn
something
into a
different.
full campaign.
As someone who's been here
was
since
like,
the
I'm
beginning.
gonna try something different.
As someone who's been here
Gonna be
since the
one
beginning. Yeah,
As
dude.
someone, episode like the one thing I regret is changing
You know, when Ganubis leveled up to level 2, he turned into a female elf.
Yeah, it was weird that Balthazar, just the character was completely taken away, and you just replaced him with Sana. But then
Oh my God.
we had some other guy come in to do voiceover for Balthazar, even though like I don't think we can. The character's not even on the campaign page.
As the Greens suit actor for Balthazar, you know, doing all the
Oh my
stunts and
God.
stuff. I wish I used Magic Missile a little less.
Mocap suit.
Mocap, yeah. And I wish we got like a better actor hired to like voice over me.
Oh my
God
god.
damn.
If I were to
relate
give
a
an
lot.
answer- If I were to give an answer to protect the like integrity of my character as a creative person, then the answer I would have given was I would have changed his background to not be like criminal and be folk hero instead.
Oh. I think one of the things I wish I had done at this stage anyway, is have because when I went into it, I came in with the idea that it was going to be a one shot, and also that
Am I the only
I mean,
one who?
yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So
The rest of us read the message.
but also
Wow.
it was my first time coming up with a character, given, you know, my first time playing D&D, so I wasn't sure exactly how far I could push things with my character, if I could make it more kind of self-centered for like goals or aspirations or whatever. So I think knowing what I know now, especially with the experience of playing with you guys, I think it would have been better for me to just have like a solid idea of where to go with the character from the start,
Yeah.
as opposed to now kind of figuring out what I want to do.
I think that's the
I'm
fun of
in
it
the
though, because
exact same boat.
you're kind of living as the character, unsure what's going on
Yeah,
now.
I like
It gives it a bit more
I
life.
I came up with Pebble, and I thought of having a character who felt like this intense guilt for her past, but also like just who she is. And I thought that her going to the Colosseum, like initially she was there and she accepted that as like, okay, this is my punishment. But once we escaped, now I'm sort of having her build her own goals that are separate from just like getting what she deserves, and it's like I wasn't expecting it, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I like having her have a real goal besides letting fate take its course and fuck her over.
For Sana, I mostly have one main goal I want Sana to achieve, and everything is up in the air to how to get there.
Quit her drinking.
And yeah, like your drinking problem. No, the original idea was the drinking problem was have comedically large alcohol so you guys notice me easier. But like there's a bunch of actions. There's a bunch of actions like I would do, and then immediately after, or like the next day, I'd be like, no, that's I wish I didn't do that. That's unlike my character. So there's like a lot of actions I'll do. Then I'm like, no, that doesn't fit right with her, and then I'm just slowly changing.
There's a lot of things where I have, in the moment, just being like, it would be funny if I did this. And then afterwards, I'm like, that's really fucked us over.
I like this has become like a thing where like if
happens
you
a
could
lot.
change. This has become the thing where it started with if you could change one thing about your character, what would it be? And now it's just like my biggest regret of this
Let's
entire.
hope this thing
I mean,
regrets in our
that's how it
personal lives.
is.
My
sometimes.
regret is what I would change because
No.
I haven't been here since level 4
And like
to level 5.
So, like anytime Sana does something that's like a little out of pocket and then like goes back on it, I always see that as her like sort of getting used to the fact that she's now more free than she was before. Like she has more freedoms as a person.
Letting the
And
intrusive
it's
thought win.
literally letting the
Mhm.
intrusive thoughts win, and it's so funny to me. I really like it.
I'll answer for Balthazar. He's not here for this question. Mechanically, I think he should have taken variant human instead of straight human, which would allow him to take a feat instead of having a +1 to all his skills. I think he could have gotten more use out of a feat rather than being like just dumping all of them up by one.
Yeah.
And
Plus
also
Mozzie
also
is
add one on to answer for Pebble. I think on the last level up she shouldn't have added her ability and score improvement to what was her dump stat.
Okay. That's okay. Thank you.
You know, but that's just Pebble's character.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah.
up, oh my
Making
God.
stupid decisions.
It's only funny when we're making fun of Mozzie. We need to go back to making fun of Mozzie. I'm perfect, and you just can't accept that.
I had 2 ideas for Mherren, and that was literally it. I wanted her to be a barbarian, and that was the extent that I had for her like actual character sheet. I just wanted to be a barbarian because it was something I had never done before, and I wanted to try it out. And then my plan for her, like, what would happen for her, only went up to the Colosseum because I fully planned on losing her then. Like I wanted her to be self-sacrificing. I wanted her to stay there while she helped everyone else get out. And that just didn't happen.
I want you to know that I would have literally cried. Like, I would have cried real actual tears if we left
I
Mherren
wanted
behind.
that effect.
When Shello almost died during the fight with Hellcore, I literally got... I was tears
scared.
welled up. Tears
Oh,
welled up.
I was completely void of emotion.
Are you serious? What?
People asking who did the character art, and like we said in the last Q&A, that artist is known as Logazon, and her Fiverr is linked in the episode descriptions if you'd like to commission her for your own character art or check out her other artwork. And any other artists we use that aren't like actual D&D assets, you know, they will be also in the YouTube video descriptions. But I'm putting this question in again in this Q&A as well because I just wanted to shout out our logo and music creators. The logo is made by my Twitch emote artist, Madman. He's linked in all the descriptions. Scally Pebble, who is not here, she does all the music. But not all the music that's original.
Not the ripped OSTs.
Yeah, she doesn't do the Tamagotchi Life soundtrack.
Unless.
Are you kidding me?
Then all the graphic design stuff I do, like thumbnails and overlays and stuff. My next question, this was actually a kind of a sort of debate that happened on a TikTok like CapCut meme I posted. It was why I always ask if blank hits. I know you guys asked me that too.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
People were like debating in the comments if you should ask if something hits every time or if you should just like have like a list of your players' ACs so you know. But I like to specifically ask or just like say what I roll. Because like firstly I don't memorize everyone's AC and I don't feel like adding another tab I have to keep open that lists it all. And
it's funny. It brings him joy when he knows.
Yeah.
it's gonna
Also,
hit.
the big reason is just funny to like say like a ludicrous number and ask if it hits. Sincerely.
Does a
I-
26 hit?
I know I do it the most often, but it's so funny whenever someone gets like just heaves a sigh, like no shit. They don't say that, but you can tell.
But it also
do it so often.
like saying it and not just like skipping to like giving you like the damage. It offers like for like a reaction to be used, like if Balthazar wants to cast like shield or something. It's kind of like a formality, and like gives the player time to speak if they have something that can like counter it or something like that. And also. It just lets you guys also know I'm actually rolling these things. I'm not just like making shit up, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be
You
making
could
up
be
the
anywhere,
numbers,
we
but
just wouldn't know.
it also lets you determine like what the enemies are rolling, so you can maybe have like a good idea of like how strong they are if they
it's like, a
continually
super
roll like really
dangerous
good.
enemy,
Yeah. Another question we got was who the goblin is in the intro video.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Someone asked if it was specifically Cumfuck. It's not Cumfuck. He doesn't talk like Cumfuck.
Someone else said, "Is it to do with mind goblins?"
Yeah. I didn't think about that, but that kind of works. But it's literally just I used a goblin because it's a pretty like standard, recognizable D&D creature that kind of fit that voice I wanted to use for that trailer. And that's about it.
I think the shape of the head was fun to draw as well. That's why I felt good with it.
Can we call him John Dragon Deez Dice?
Mein Goblin.
You know how like
Let's not do that.
you know how when you have like any like brand, you just say like it's John brand name.
Yeah.
I'll have him
Like,
show up in the campaign as just like a really like meta character that like knows he's in like a D&D podcast.
He's
Since
just
he was in the trailer.
podcast
Yeah.
on the podcast.
He shows up to like remind people to subscribe and hit that like. Someone also reached out to me asking for some DM advice, even though I'm a new DM. They wanted to know from me for some reason. They asked how do I get my players interested in the story? So I think the best way to do that would definitely be like bringing up things from their backstory, especially if they like wrote their backstory themselves, like bringing up characters they came up with, because that like directly ties into something the player thought of themselves, and you can like work with that. But then beyond that, I find it interesting to have villains or relatable NPCs that get the group motivated to do story related things and learn more about either defeating the villain or helping the NPC.
Towards sort of like DMing and getting people interested in the story, I think the more you can possibly flesh it out and add like little links to everything is the better. And just like general storytelling, just like read some really good books, get some good like ideas from them.
I mean, as you three as players, what makes you guys interested in the story?
Emotional involvement. Make me care about something, and I will be so invested.
Bro, plot twists. Oh, yes.
I think the most invested I've been at any moment was one of like Mherren's nightmare PTSD things.
Oh.
Where it genuinely, it was just like the language used in explaining the scene was so it was so compelling, where I was just in my mind creating the scene itself. And I think those moments where I feel like I can see the scene in my head even though we're just speaking about it are the bits that get me really invested. I've enjoyed just like the wacky characters.
Yeah, creating like a atmosphere is really good for getting people engaged, like music choice to put on in the background. I really pay attention to that. I try to have like a new song for most like important scenes and things, and then like kind of explaining things as if you're like narrating like an audiobook or something, like being really descriptive. I struggle with that if I don't plan it out ahead of time.
It's human in a sense where like, or it feels real that like not every single corner of the world has something special in it, but those special moments are great.
Next question is, I get this a few times, most people commenting this, just saying that on like a TikTok or something, someone will comment, I'm stealing this or something from my home game. So my next question I have here is, can I use your game as inspiration for my own? Personally, I'm perfectly fine with people taking my stuff for their home games, you know, like NPCs or like a joke, a bit I have planned, or like a story beat or something. I'm fine with someone using that for their game, just as long as you don't like claim it as your own original idea, you know? If the game is like streamed or something, I'd probably have more of an issue with it if you just like steal my stuff. But for just like random home games that aren't like content, you know, I don't really care that much. Just you know, tell your players where you got it from, I guess, and they can watch.
Spread the word. Get more funny ants out there.
And maybe eventually down the line I can release like specific like homebrew creations I've made for the game, like officially. Whether
cool.
Whether through like a source book or just like uploading them to like a Patreon or something like that would be nice. I just don't know if I'd probably need like another dungeon master to like proofread it or something, because I've never written like stuff specifically for use with like other people. Most of the stuff I design is very specific to like our needs or my needs for the campaign, so a lot of it probably isn't balanced that great. Actually, this is my next question, actually. How does Podeki's potion crossbow work? Because some people ask this. That potion crossbow, it can only fit regular healing potions. So you roll to hit like a normal crossbow, then you'd roll for healing, and you'd roll that same die again for the damage. So it could do more or less healing than damage depending on what you roll. So it's a bit of a toss-up there, but in the moment when it was shown off in that episode, for the comedy of it, when Podeki used it, I just had them cancel each other out so that it'd be funnier. But so something like that could be put into like a book or something for publication for homebrew, but it's definitely not balanced well. There's another question. Someone asked if the Dungeon Master will be a player again at some point. Now, I'd love to play in a game, whether it be like a one-shot or a campaign. Since I haven't actually been a player since we started this campaign, I played a few games with a different Dungeon Master a few times before this, but this is also I made the jump to DMing for the first time in this campaign. But if I did go back to being a player again, we'd probably have to get cause I don't know, I assume none of you are interested in like DMing, so it'd have to be like a new DM comes in. I think it would be
kind of fun.
I would love to if I ever got the confidence to do it.
Yeah. I think DMing is not as hard as it seems, you know? It's a little bit more intimidating if it's in like a recorded or streamed space like this podcast is. You just have to be good at like improvising things, and you gotta do like a lot of planning ahead of time. It's not that bad because like especially if you're playing with people who don't know D&D as much as you can just like make up the rules. They don't need to know. Going back to if I would ever be a player, it'd probably be like another person with like a different D&D podcast or someone else we know that wants to be a DM would probably have to come on to DM something, or I would guess in like a different podcast or something like that. I mean, I like world building a lot, so I'm perfectly fine with staying as a dungeon master. I do definitely miss just being a player and being like in that sort of mindset as a player, but DMing is also a lot of fun. Someone asked if we could say the party's subclasses. We've mentioned it like a few times what some of your guys' subclasses are, but it's not on like the like character cards I made for each of you.
College of Swords Bard.
I am a wild magic barbarian.
I think that's probably the most obvious one.
Yeah. No, what do you mean? It was the best kept secret for sure.
You're a barbarian?
Pebble is a paladin oath of redemption. Balthazar is School of Conjuration. Skrubbins is a rogue.
Changeling thing?
Well, Changeling is his race.
Oh fuck! What?
He's a rogue. He's a rogue. Teenager.
He's it's called it's no Changeling. Changeling is a race. He's a phantom rogue.
Ooh.
That sounds really cool.
Damn, it sounds like a character out of fucking One Piece. That's mad.
Yeah, that's why he has like some ghost things going on. Like when he does like a sneak attack, like ghosts come out and do stuff. Skrubbins also has a feat that he hasn't. I don't think he's actually used yet. But it also does some interesting stuff.
Does he know that he has the feat?
Hopefully. Oh no, he has used it. He hasn't used the second feature of it. But one of the things it gives him is the false life spell, which he's used before. Going back to subclasses, Sana is a druid. So moving on.
Yeah, totally. 100% druid.
Monk, Way of the Drunken Master.
Wait, is that actually what it is?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When was this disclosed?
It was never disclosed. I'm disclosing it now.
Yeah, no. It was
P3 really only wants to keep it a secret from Scally because P3 thinks Scally actually believes him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
To
be fair, I just thought that she was a fucking idiot.
No, when she says she's using a druid point, she actually means she's using key points, which is what monks use.
Oh. Okay, that's very funny then.
She wouldn't be built very good for a druid because I think druids go off of wisdom as their spellcasting, and her wisdom's 12. And her,
Again, maybe
dex
she's
is
a dumb
17.
piece of shit.
Drunken
Oh,
Master
that's
monks don't actually have to be drunk, by the way. It just like describes way of fighting as like unpredictable. So
Oh,
since,
yeah.
since she's not trained in like hand-to-hand fighting, her thing was that she's like she unpredictably fights and it uses her like pent up
Emotions.
my first D&D character I ever played was actually a drunken monk. On episode 6, Crabapple's Inn, where I got the idea from that, and actually I got the idea for Crabapple's. This might be a surprise, but Applebee's, the restaurant.
I didn't make that.
I had a
connection at all.
feeling because
I
of mostly because of the apple part, and then the everything being bad part.
Being there one time, I just like got the idea to like put this in D&D because I thought it'd be funny. It'd have like a chain in like sort of restaurant that, because all these starting towns you guys went to getting out of the prison were really in close proximity together, and I wanted like it, so like it was a good idea to have like just a chain of inns at like each one of you guys to stop at each place instead of like trying to like find housing or like just a generic inn or something like that. Yeah, and I kind of based the vibe around the real like places like that in like small towns.
I recall you had said that we were mainly going to be focused on role play for a while, and then the first combat we had after you said that was the big game.
It's interesting you say that because Hellcore and the other wizard, they weren't supposed to show up to Haver Hills there, what I originally planned for when I said that, because I didn't expect Balthazar to so easily give away that he was there.
I didn't know that was actually connected. I had an idea that it might have been connected.
Well,
to
so
Balthazar,
I was nervous about giving away our actual location.
the people would have still gone there to get the kids, but it wouldn't have been like the wizards wouldn't have been there, and there wouldn't have been as many soldiers because they wouldn't have known you guys were also there, basically.
So was it entirely possible for us to have just like won that encounter?
Yeah.
Wow. Because that was like the entire point, or the entire driving force of us to go towards the capital.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't know the wizards were actively searching.
Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't know that. What I had originally planned for, I had planned for Gon to send multiple messages to Balthazar, because I assumed that Balthazar would think it's a little suspicious that Gon just happened to find like a wizard and send a message and like get away at all and all that. So I expected Balthazar to like ask Gon like a question and like to prove that's him or something like that, and something that wasn't giving away the location immediately. So I had planned for like multiple messages Gon would send after that one, where he'd try to like sneak in different code words and things that hint towards him being captured by the wizards as they like tortured him to like send more and more messages trying to get the information out of Balthazar. But I didn't end up needing those.
Oh fuck.
It's fine. It was a really cool fight though.
But no, the Hellcore being there made it like a lot harder than I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't say that it was necessarily like unwinnable. I mean, it was definitely stacked against you. I mean,
I feel like we were far too divided to actually do anything there, because we weren't able to like 100% focus on saving the children, because then we would have had to kill the rest of the enemies, and we weren't able to focus on killing the enemies because then the children were taken.
It was a really cool fight though. Especially I got to get rid of the Teb doll.
Okay,
Right.
I wanted to ask, why does everyone have such an issue with Shello enjoying Teb's company?
The fact that
Because
Teb tried to
Teb-
kill us.
But that doesn't...
He put a
Bringing-
blade in me.
I don't understand why making Shello more upset.
He
is
wasn't
your
hesitant
solution.
to kill children
Well,
or
I only
innocents.
stopped Shello from getting Teb's stuff at the
And it was right there in front of him. And you just pulled him away from it. You yanked him. You grabbed him by the scruff of his neck.
I did pick him up.
I think the reason why Aaron, enjoy Teb as a character as much as I do is because he was meant to die in the first encounter. Which is why I keep trying to get more Teb memorabilia in game.
Now in death, he's stronger than he ever was living.
I don't know about that. He was pretty fucking strong.
I feel like I missed a point, because what did we end up doing with the dragon scale?
Also has
we just put it back in place.
Okay, that's why I was like confused, because I was like, Mherren like ended up resonating with the magic in it, and then we just didn't do anything with that. So I was like,
it's very potent and unstudied.
One confession I have is that originally I had planned for look like just like a rock, like a magic rock, and Pondbelly was supposed to be there to reveal that it was actually a dragon scale, but in giving this backstory to Balthazar, I accidentally called it a dragon scale. So kind of ruined that.
oh.
I miss Pondbelly. He was one of the real ones. For real.
He had frogs.
I'll put this into perspective on how bad I am at note taking. How many sessions in are we now?
13? 14?
13 or 14.
I have 6 sessions of notes.
Nice. I categorize mine by day.
Yeah, I've got mine on date.
I don't categorize mine at all. I just write them down as I get them, except I've taken notes on Discord and on Google Docs, so whenever something comes up, I have to check both. Because I started at first just doing it on Discord because I had a page so that I could remember what Mherren's wild magic stuff was. So I was just like, I'm just going to write everything down there. Except then I was like, well, I need to get down the backstory that Peanut sent me, so I'm just going to open a Google Doc and put that in there so that I can easily just go back to it without having to go through 8 different things. So I just started taking notes on that instead. And now I've got my notes split.
One of the main problems I have is it brings back school PTSD when you need to take notes down from the whiteboard. And the teachers just finished writing the last word of the last sentence on the board. Then they immediately grab the fucking duster to wipe it off. I'm like, fuck you.
The way I keep notes, I have multiple folders in Google Drive. So I have a folder for NPCs where I have notes for every NPC. I have a folder for the party. Then I have in there folders for each of you individually. Then in each of those individual ones, I have your bio, the information that you know as a player about your character. I have another doc about information you don't know to reveal later in the campaign. Then I have a doc for all the NPCs tied around your backstory. Then I have a folder for places. Then I have notes on every place in that one. Then I have a folder for each arc where I kind of outline each arc that happens. Then I have a folder specifically for level ups, what each person gets on each level up. Then I have a folder for session notes, and in each of those, a Google Doc that just has my notes for each session if I need to jot something down real quick to remember it later. Then I have just a doc for the timeline of events going from the beginning of time in this world to current time.
Oh shit.
Well, then I have a list of the Pantheon. I have a list of all my homebrew creations. Actually, in the timeline, in case you guys didn't know, the era you're in is the Age of Abandonment.
Good. That's good to know. I thought so because we were talking about.
Yeah, it's been referenced a few times, and also the previous era before the Age of Abandonment was the Golden Epic. Epic spelled E-P-O-C-H.
Isn't that epoch?
No, it's pronounced epic.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I know for a fact that Shello doesn't know a lot about the world.
My next thing then was just discussing the creation of Skrubbins. Me and Nerds pretty much got in a call together, and he really only had an idea to be kind of like brooding rogue type character, and I like bounced some ideas off of him. I saw the Phantom Rogue subclass, and I thought that was really interesting, so I asked him if he wanted to do that and have some like kind of like horror-esque influence, and he thought that was cool. He came up with some ideas for his backstory, and then I sort of like took that and sort of created the character around that, the certain aspects he gave me. Because Nerds doesn't really know too much about D&D, so he just envisioned like an elf. So I showed him basically all the D&D races. So he thought that a race like a changeling would be cool, or like there's another race called Shadar Kai, which is kind of like an elf, but like a lot paler and kind of like edgier like that. So he liked those two, and he decided to go with changeling because he thought it'd help. He liked the aspect of being able to change like a different person, like doing like different voices and different characters and stuff. Then from there, the only really thing he had about that he wanted his character to look like was he sent me a picture of Ezio from Assassin's Creed. And then from there, I kind of like took that and sending it to the artist. I kind of took that and then combined it with these sort of like gothic elements. So
that's cool.
Also, he said that his voice inspiration for Skrubbins was Ben Reilly from the second Spider-Verse movie. So the Under Ruin dungeon was the first like real dungeon you guys really did, where it's like an actual like dungeon crawl. I mean, technically, like the pits of pity going through like stealthing that area is kind of basically like a small dungeon. This was like a very true to the sense of the word dungeon, with like traps and puzzles and combat and just all of that. So I pretty much designed that, kind of going floor by floor. I first had the idea for the colorblind puzzle. I thought that was really funny. So that was the first thing I really thought of. I also thought of the NPC that like cut his own eyelids off to like in order to watch for like the bodies moving. I thought that would be like a scary thing to have. And then from those two things, I just kind of built it off of that. I thought about how many floors it should be and like what to put on each floor. Then when I was making the like skeleton combat encounter, I was like, how can I make this more interesting? And I thought of like falling through the floor to like the next level. And then I just like kind of browsed through D&D monsters to find like different undeads and creatures that would be in the dungeon I thought would be interesting. The boss that you guys fought there was actually that thing wasn't like an official D&D monster. I got it from like a different source book of like celestial creatures, because actual D&D doesn't have a lot of celestial monsters to fight, because usually celestials are like good creatures, you know.
Right.
But since it was in that like holy room, I wanted it to be specifically a celestial type creature.
I feel like most of the story opportunities, we just failed every fucking check, so it just didn't matter.
Yeah, unfortunately, that last room was supposed to be like the big thing of like finding things.
We can't let Scally do checks. We just can't. It never works out.
First of all, the colorblind puzzle was fucking very funny. Genuinely, whenever you sent an image into the Discord, and I was like, okay, I'm switching out of the chat. I thought that it was going to be like some weird like password thing, but they weren't allowed to say certain words or something. And then I went to the DMs, and I just immediately, without even fully dissecting the image I'd been sent, I saw a couple of colored circles, and I was like, this is a colorblind text. Fuck. It would have been extremely funny if I had to act as if I had perfect color vision, but I think it's very funny that Shello, he's colorblind, fuck it.
What type of colorblind are you? Are you one of those Dutons?
Yeah, I'm deuteranopia. I can't.
That's what I assume. So that's good.
Why that peanut said it? It sounds like some grandfather doesn't understand how shit works anymore. You want to name them mutants?
I had like a good idea of what kind of color blindness you were, so I made sure to include some circles that are specific to that color blindness, and I did other ones that were like other color blindnesses, so you'd at least have some to go off of.
I recognize the other color blindness colors because I was like, after I was like, does Peanut know exactly which one I am? Because there's
also, it was funny because in the TikTok I posted, there was one person that found out they were colorblind from that video.
Let's go.
I saw that comment and I was like, oh fuck.
The animal symbols were different to like confuse on like which animal is which. I made sure to include like 3 different birds too.
That part fucked with me because I wasn't sure what I was saying.
The goose and the duck looked almost like exactly the same, except one just had a slightly longer neck.
I think I'm like, wait, is he serious? Does he not know what these animals are?
The other way to solve that, which would have been way easier, was just sending Balthazar's owl in there.
Yeah, but that would have.
I was thinking that, but then Shello like still on. I'm like, oh, okay, Shello's got this.
The other thing I wanted to ask was that fucking seesaw.
The way you're supposed to solve it, if I remember correctly, I got this from a very, very old like first edition Dungeons and Dragons book. I think you're supposed to. I'm going based off the memory right now. I don't have my notes open, but I think you're supposed to throw something on the other side to get that side to get your side to go up, and then put something between that and the ground to like kind of like make it so it can't go down, basically.
Oh,
I assumed it would have broken anything.
Well, not something strong enough, you know.
I was playing Tears of the Kingdom at that point too, so I really should have known that.
The anagram was really funny.
It was embarrassing.
Was Scally like just was controlling the conversation with just nonsense also? Well, everyone
Scally
else was
just saying words.
I know. She was saying words that have nothing to do with any of the letters.
What I loved was the fact that we had open and tongue, and the way that we got to the end was not by crossing out tongue or the letters for tongue and then solving the last 4 letters, but instead by me saying open tongue and then someone else saying open by my tongue.
Yeah, you guys were like really confused on how to make 2 words out of the last 4 letters and couldn't figure it out.
It should have been so easy because we
guys
had
were like,
2 Y's.
why are there 2 Y's? Doesn't make any sense. You can't make 2 words with 2 Y's.
It was a trip.
What was the other word we were thinking about?
It was tomb, which was actually really good because you guys are in a dungeon right now and it could be a tomb on the other side. When you guys thought of that, I was like, oh no, they're not gonna be able to figure it out now. Yeah, that was a fun puzzle, just to sit there and not talk for like 30 minutes while you guys try to figure that out.
Dude, that would drive me crazy after a while if I had to. I think that's one reason why I would probably be not good as a DM.
Hello.
We're on your episode's reveal now. Did you want to talk about that at all?
Well, I made my character in August. I had many ideas. I wanted to make a cool-ass cowboy, but guns don't exist, so... things kept getting postponed till October. and then I was told, like, you know, oh, in like an hour you're going to be called upon, and I'm pretty sure I waited more than an hour just doing nothing, staring at my screen, waiting.
Sounds
ready. When you told me everyone calls Modsy short, I was scrambling, thinking
literally
of how can I
person does.
How can I make a short joke? And I've gone through many iterations, and then like a moment before I joined, it clicked. I speak halfling. And that's all.
Oh my god.
May I say it? You fucking cunt. That's
I literally
it.
get sent the invite to the Discord and with a message saying Balthazar is in disguise right now, and I can only think, shit, I have to wait for this.
Given the fact that she lives a very luxurious life, there's currently a marriage going on in the royal family, and her just simply being homeless at the moment, but still having money. Our theory was that she was possibly either the king's daughter or the to-be queen's daughter.
What?
What?
I don't think that's what
I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I think that she was meant to be the bride.
Yeah.
No, but the
No, wait, we know the name of the bride, right?
We know the name of the bride.
I don't remember learning the actual name.
We were told it.
I remember
remember, yeah.
hearing about her, but I
What?
don't remember learning.
There was like
remember
an
the name you were
uproar
told?
between the.
You were told that it was the Princess of the Woods. That was the kind of title given to the
Oh,
bride.
there wasn't a name?
And given that
mm.
Sana doesn't know anything about the outside world, I doubt that was Sana's role.
Oh, I think that
It
that's
sounds like. Mm.
definitely relation to royalty.
Yeah.
Like direct relation to royalty was
So,
my
like,
assumption.
I guess we'll find out in future sessions.
Or not, or you just like let me die or something.
I can
No.
tell you.
We've been
Yeah.
over
You're not
this.
getting out of this. You're not getting out of this podcast that easy, P3.
I've got
Um,
a question for P3.
What?
Why, despite Balthazar having had a wife and a child, did you immediately distinct him as someone sketchy who you shouldn't really trust?
Oh, that's the human thing.
Yeah, Balthazar is a human. Humans are, they're kind of like, savages. In the eyes
Over
of
an
an
orc?
elegant elf. Eyes of an elegant elf.
Okay, elegant, my ass.
I think that humans are savages.
Wow. I'm never being nice to any of you ever again.
No, just like in general, me, Aaron, I believe humans are savages.
Yeah.
True.
They're horrible, horrible
I-
beasts.
I
They
couldn't
shouldn't
just
be
be an
trusted.
elf and not be racist.
My God. I find Sana's ignorance really funny because Sana was also terrified of Mherren. Like immediately. Like Mherren got within 6 feet and Sana started screaming at the top of her lungs in the first 5 minutes. But
Mherren
now
showed more
Sana
kindness.
actively clings to Mherren.
I don't. Balthazar's not really gonna feel like showing kindness if you assume that he's a fucking pervert.
This last part, we can talk about the actual like kids breakout mission.
I don't know if anyone else had the feeling. Maybe not, because I feel like I was the only other person with Pebble at the beginning of the combat. But was it planned for Pebble to be on the ground floor? Because once the doors opened, Lyra was, or is it Lyra?
Yeah, Lyra.
Lyra was right there, like at the. I obviously in universe I like looked through the little eye hole, but it was like Lyra had gone from their floor down to the bottom floor, and had heard the ruckus outside. So it seemed like if I was the only one there, getting kicked up, beat up by 2 guards, it seemed like the combat wouldn't have happened, and the interaction with Lyra would have just happened some other time.
The way that kind of went down was kind of like a domino effect. I didn't plan for Pebble to be down there. Obviously, that was just kind of. Why did she go down there? She like.
Because I was getting beat up by a bunch of guards.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't plan for that to happen at all. I thought that Shello would be like inside, since he's like the second most stealthy, second to the Skrubbins. No, I didn't plan for that. What would have happened if Pebble wasn't down there and it was just Shello would just have the knight go out to take care of him instead of her doing it. The only reason she got involved was because Pebble was there.
I see.
My original plan was always to have her initiate combat when she realized Pebble was there. So like how I had originally planned it without knowing how it would go was as you guys all were like leaving or something, she'd show up, or you'd like walk into like that room that she's in.
But the idea was that there was always certain to be combat with Lyra there, yeah?
I mean, there's a chance she couldn't, she may not have been involved and would have just been Gurgle, but Gurgle was always planned. I wanted you guys to have the satisfaction of killing him in a boss fight to level up.
That's fair.
Which actually, you guys had overheard that conversation between Lyra and someone else. You guys didn't really discuss this at all, but who do you think that second voice was?
Was it the general that Mherren knows? Or no, it was an old man?
It was an older sounding man. I can't tell you who it was. I'm just wondering your theories.
I'm not sure. Because at first I thought it might have been what was his name? Boot from
Who?
the freak show. That guy like ran it.
Oh, you mean
Okay, Bottleby.
Bottle
Yeah,
B,
that one.
what-
That's what I thought at first, but now that you say that it could have been the general, like I guess that would make sense. I don't remember how old the general was supposed to be.
I mean, elves live a very long time, so it's very uncommon for a elf to like really show their age because they'll usually die in like
I guess that makes
combat
sense.
or something before they reach old age.
Right.
But he looks like just a very strong, like middle-aged man.
No.
I'm trying to think because the guy says that he's there in place of Dupe. I don't know because I was trying to connect dots, but there's too many dots.
I'm glad I could
I'm all
actually
good.
fight. It felt nice actually be able to fight.
You killed.
I do actually have a question from TikTok. Dupe had shown up in episode 5, so this person's wondering if there's a chance of any other characters from the session 0 to show up, and the answer to that is anything's possible.
Yeah, questions like that, it's all about the player's choices and how they go about things if they actually show up or not.
The only reason Dupe was the first one to show up because that was my character. So characters plant made for the session 0, deeming that probably wouldn't show up.
What will be the milestone that I need to save up money to fly to the States for an in-person session?
100,000 subscribers.
When we
Dude.
buying a content house, and then when a character dies in the game, we just like publicly
You
lynch
evict
them
them.
Kick him
out.
out of the house.
We have another question here. It's awesome puzzles in this episode. Hey, thanks. And that's all the questions we have.
I don't think that
Who
was
said that? Was that you?
Thanks to the puzzle.